Amazing. Believe I'm live. It says that I'm live. I'm just going to check on my Facebook. And then what I'm going to do is go live on Instagram for this one because this is the first iteration. It says that I'm live in the wealth frequency shift, but I can't see it here. And I don't want to be live on my page, you see. If you're watching on a replay, please comment replay. Let me know that you're watching because Facebook doesn't let me know. I think I am live in the group because I can see it on there. Okay, I'm just going to trust because it says that I'm live now on there. Okay, great. Yeah, Facebook doesn't let me know if you're watching on a replay. And of course, I would love to know if you're watching and if you're tuning in. And this is actually a new iteration of the weekly calls that I am deciding to do because of the shifts that I've been going through, which I'll share with you more. The sacred spiral. So I'm going to go live on Instagram too, so Instagram can get an insight into what's going on in here in the future. Okay, cool. Instagram, we're live. Facebook, we're live in the group. Hello, hello. So, I don't know if you've been following along on my journey. It's been a fucking journey, I can tell you that for sure. Initiation after initiation. And I've been shedding and letting go of so much that I had this landing and this drop in yesterday, actually, to start doing the weekly live calls that I've been doing in the Wealth Frequency Shift private Facebook community as a group interactive call as and when it happens. I have been going through a really huge process of really coming back to my power in all of the ways and trusting my voice again after years of being in my cave out of self-protection and coming in and coming out because of various different inherited programs that I've had to shed, and also because of personal wounding that I've experienced through my leadership journey. And essentially, through this process of initiation that I've been moving through, I've been sharing more of my story and what I've been experiencing pretty much over the last 6 years, to be honest with you. And it's been really interesting to now to look back in hindsight because for a couple of years there was full-on stagnancy within my business. However, I've been wholeheartedly, fully provided for by the Most High in ways that I couldn't have even consciously comprehended because of the frequency work that I've been moving through, integrating, embodying, and subsequently now teaching. And looking back on my journey in hindsight, and I actually shared my whole story in a very unrefined, unscripted way. And this is this is the direction that I'm going in, is completely organic, unscripted, just naturally coming because I was that at one point years ago. This is when my business and everything was booming. And then because of everything that I subsequently experienced going in my cave, I went back to being vanilla and I wasn't really talking about my embodiment journey because of whatever meh I had in my head. So I was still staying and showing up in the old frequency, even though I was in a new frequency. So there was dissonance in respects to the way people were receiving me because I was showing up completely different as to what I should have been showing up for my own reasons that held me back, which I've moved through, which I'm so grateful. However, I was showing up in that way through all of these fears, and there was a disconnect in my business. So there was stagnancy there in that sense, however, fully provided for by the Most High. And I've been going through an initiation portal over the last couple of months which has really pushed me to the edge to the point of starting to share my story again in a way of where I'm currently at and what I'm moving through. And I really feel like this is what we need as a collective right now is for all of us to just lead from where we're at. And we're starting to let go of all of these performative structures and ways of being that we felt like we needed to be. And I know I unconsciously, it wasn't even a conscious thing, but when I was thrown into leadership back in 2020, unconsciously I put this mask on as, wow, I'm leading all of these people. I got to have it together. I got to show up this way to be strong for them. And it was a move that, although it was made in the best for everyone. Hello, Mod. I hope you're well. I'm sending you love. Although the decision was made in the best for everyone, because if we show up strong and if we show up as if we've got it all together, it supports the collective. However, when me personally, I'm leading this movement and I'm going through my spiritual awakenings over and over and over again. And ultimately, through people being in my field, I didn't really know this back then. And it's really beautiful how my journey has played out because now I know this, so I can let people know what happens when they enter my field. However, I didn't know this back then, and as I was going through my spiritual awakenings over and over again, especially being in Bali, it was speedy in comparison to what it would have been if I was in the UK or the West. So I'm working only with people that were in the West, and I'm going through these spiritual awakenings that I could kind of put a name to it, but I didn't really know how to because no one else was really experiencing it, and I didn't want to seem too woo-woo, even though I was woo-woo, talking about energy and frequency and all of that. But essentially, I kept that part of my journey to myself. And this has been a huge, huge part of my journey is the spiritual awakening, is the frequency, is the energy, because this is essentially how I've been able to create my life from the inside out through a frequency sense, through regulating my nervous system, through all of the identity work, through refining myself, through lowering my ego and going through all of these ego deaths and through landing deeper into my heart. And back then, 6 years ago, I didn't really have a language for it. I was just moving through it, just naturally, just moving through it and reclaiming my power and setting boundaries and all of the things that come with our spiritual awakening and with creating the life that we truly desire. So, yeah, because of the shame as well that I had around the money journey that I've moved through, I kept a huge part of that journey back because yes, I was building my business. Yes, I was running my business. Yes, I was supporting other people build their businesses in the way that I had done, right? And in 2020, up until 2020 up until early 2024, I actually built an organization that had over 400K in sales revenue. So I'm teaching people this, and then at the same time, I'm also moving through the understanding of the power that we hold within us, within our frequency and our knowing, because I'm experiencing money coming to me from other sources than my business. However, I wasn't really open about sharing it because of the shame that was attached to it because it didn't come from my business. And it's been a lot to unpick and work through because I know that there has been a lot that I've inherited from my ancestral line in respects to money in itself, and also my personal story has allowed me to stack up shame and expectations on the way that I believed things should have happened. My organization is my Enagic organization. So you'll see that I share a lot about water, and this is the foundational infrastructure of the business model in itself. So we share water with people and we support them come back to true health via them drinking this amazing water. The water in scientific terms is electrolyzed reduced water. And then with that, I support people build their businesses around their personal brand. And this is actually how I started back in 2017. The world was very, very different. But through the industry, the world of the industry that I'm in, and through my journey of reclaiming my power and building my business around my personal brand and building community, that's when I came to my passion and purpose in this lifetime of coaching and sharing my journey, my embodiment journey, what I was learning to uh, to to basically expand my life. So essentially, I've been going through this process of merging all of that together within this business, this model, the water, the business, and also the spiritual awakening journey that comes with it. Is your business developed properly? Yes. Our model is over 13 years old. It's a proven model, and our company is 52 years old this year. So, yes, it's developed properly for sure. And I've been refining the systems that we've been using for over 30 years into systems that merge with my purpose and my passion in respects to supporting people on their embodiment and their awakening journey in the reclamation of their power and their sovereignty in all of the ways. Can you increase your business? Yes, we can. It's all about building community and supporting one another. I constructed building and houses. My work is construction. Nice. So these water machines that I share, they would really fit beautifully within the houses that you're constructing and building. The beauty about this business in itself is, although yes, I choose to build my business in this way because this honors my passion and purpose, water is very malleable and we all need clean living drinking water, and especially for us to really truly reclaim our power and our sovereignty and our health in all of the ways, we need this water because this allows us to fully detoxify everything that's weighing us down and holding us back from our highest, and it allows us to come back to origin. Kangen, which is the brand name, actually means in Japanese return to origin. And through my own personal journey of reclamation, what's come through to me with return to origin is return to source. Because the more I've cleaned up myself, my body, my mind, and also my emotional and energetic field of all of the dense and heavy energies that have been holding me back, I've been able to return to source, to power, because we're all connected to that power in the creation of the reality that we desire. So, hi, Shell. I hope you're well. I'm sending you love. So, yeah, this water is very malleable in respects to what your personal vocation is in life. It's simply a case of having a conversation with me and I can support you in how this can nicely merge in without negatively affecting what you're currently focusing on as well. And if of course you haven't already got a vocation that you're going after or a business, then of course I'm here to support you in the start of you building that and finding out what that is, because that's when I started. When I started, I didn't know what my passion and purpose was. I didn't even know who I was. So over the last 9 years, I've been on this whole journey of really finding that and blending it all together, because water's life and we're 70% water. So by merging this water into our life, we get to really reclaim our life because of the way that this water enables us to feel. And it also enables us to create the wealth it is that we desire with the career plan, the free career plan that's attached to your health investment. So I like saying it, water is life and water is wealth, because we are water, and water, when we connect with this business model, we get to create the wealth that we desire around us. I want a video call. I want a video call we discuss on live. Yeah, sure. 1 second, I'll be back. Are you okay? Yeah? All right, all good. You're good. I just had my cat. My cat was just coughing, so I just had to go and check on her. Okay, so I've accepted you. I accepted the request. I don't know where you're at, Mod. I hope that's how I pronounce your name. Okay, so yeah, it's been a really interesting journey, especially the recent initiation that I've been through. And like I said, I shared my whole story on a live last week in the free Facebook community, which is what this call is in now, and which is where this call will be streamed in the future. And this will be a group interactive call as well. So I'm also on Zoom. I'm not just on Instagram. I've just come on here to introduce this next next level version of me, should we say. And I've found throughout my journey my passion and purpose is to guide people back to the power and the trust within themselves so they create everything in their life that they ever desire. And this is why I've created the wealth frequency shift, because this gives all of the curriculum to support you do exactly that with a business model that allows you to build it around your life and your personal brand that you get full training and support with. And the systems that I've created are fully leverageable as well. So you can use them and just refer people to the system, and they can use the system to then build their business, and they can refer, and you get affiliate commission. So it's a regenerative model where we all get to win. Those who lead themselves wins. This is what it's about. Hello, Sabina. I hope you're well. I'm sending you love. So essentially I've been through this whole process of coming back to my power in that sense to build it. Hello, Emily. I hope you're well. I'm sending you love. And throughout my process, this 9 year process and journey, especially looking back on it and excavating, okay, so what do I love? What don't I love? Where do I want to put my energy? Where is my medicine? Where is my magic? And that's in presence. And this is why I love to do live videos, because then I can interact with you. If you've got any questions or anything that you want to say, please pop it in the comments, because I do check and I do respond. And also, if you're on replay, please do the same, because I also do the same, but obviously not live. And also, this is why I love coming together in community, whether that be in group settings or one-on-one or in-person settings, because my power is in presence. And especially when we're working directly one-on-one together, I am a beautiful mirror and oracle and guide when it comes to where you're at. I meet you exactly where you're at to support you get exactly where you want to go. And this is my power, is in my sensitivity, is in my ability to be able to see the whole periphery, to zoom out and to look at it all. So this is where the sacred spiral is coming in, which is the first iteration of this. I'm currently on Zoom, as I've said, and Instagram. I'm introducing you to this, because come in the future, I want to be just keeping it in the group, especially once we're getting more interactive and people are joining these calls. They're free weekly calls as well that are in the private group. And as people are joining these calls, it's a space where we can all just come together and talk, whether that be about business, life, awakening, mindset, the embodiment journey, integration, all of that. And this is my space for me to be of service every week for an hour a week, for people who want to come out and just share where they're at and feel that presence and that energy as well. So yeah, I this landed in yesterday, the idea to do this. Oh, thank you so much, Maud. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And you too. Stay blessed. I'm sending you so much love. So yeah, this landed in yesterday to start to do this, because I've been doing weekly live calls and in on here, and also in the wealth frequency shift for a couple of months now. But they've been planned and scripted in what I was going to talk about. And yeah, we want to have an idea of what we're talking about. And at the same time, I really love things to be organic and for them to flow and to be like, okay, I'm going to talk about this today, and then we're going to go with this and flow with what I'm currently navigating, but also it's very similar to what the collective is navigating as well. Because as much as I'm personally going through my own initiation in trusting my voice again and really coming back to my power, so is everyone else in their own unique way in various aspects of their life, whether that be in their business like myself, or whether that be in relation, in community, in their own sense of self-worth in some which way or another. So I figure whatever I come out and share in respects to this journey, people can relate and people can resonate with and take something from it. And then, of course, once it gets interactive and there's people in the group that are joining the Zoom call, and you can register. If you message me, I'll put the link in this. But also, if you message me, I'm more than happy to send you the link so you can register and so you can get the Zoom link every week. But yeah, I figure that as I come out and share and I'm leading this space and I'm holding this space and in full witness and reverence for where you're at in your journey, then other people will come and share and then it will just flow really beautifully. And as much as I am leading this space, I'm also a part of this space as well because yes, I'm leading my tribe towards their highest and sovereignty as well, which is the most important. It's all about coming back to sovereignty for self, yeah? And this is something that we really want to be discerning with when we're aligning and learning from someone, because there are a lot of people within the healing and embodiment spaces that desire control still. They're still holding on to control unconsciously. They're not doing it on purpose. It's all a process, letting go of control, because that's just the way that our society has been trained in that kind of consciousness. So it's really important that any guide or teacher that you align with guides you back to your sovereignty, to your inner trust, to your inner knowing, and to your own inner expression in a way that is in honor of yourself. Because the way that I lead and do things is going to be different to the way that you lead and do things, is going to be different to everyone else because we all do it in a different way. What's important is, yes, we share our experience and allow people to take what resonates and leave what doesn't for their own experience as well. So this is what I'm all about within the spaces that I curate. I share where I'm at, where I'm from, what I've done, what I've integrated, and the in totality of my whole journey as well. And bear in mind, it's been a 9 year journey of continual unraveling in that sense. So there's a lot under my tool belt for me to be able to share depending on where you're at in your current navigation. And we're all, so many people these days, they're looking for other ways, they're looking for more freedom, they're looking for more emotional resonance, they're looking for more support, they're going through their spiritual awakenings, they're seeing what's going on in the world. And then at the same time, it's like, okay, well, where the fuck do I get this information from? How do I gain support in this way that fully honors myself and where I'm at? And also that fully honors my story and what it is that I need as well. And this is a really huge part of the journey of reclaiming our sovereignty, is really truly deeply getting to know ourselves and our story on a very deep level, including what we may have inherited from our ancestors, because this is the part of really being able to rise, is to really see ourselves and where we've come from for what it is, from the perspective of I this was chosen. I chose this, or the Most High chose this for me. So why was it chosen in respects to my own soul's growth and evolution for the betterment of all? This is what it's about. It's for the betterment of all. It's not just for ourselves. Yes, it is for ourselves, because if we're not able to live a comfortable life, if we're not able to live in our freedom, if we're not fully, if our needs aren't fully met, then we're not able to really bloom in the way that we came here to bloom. So yes, it's really, really, really important that we rise up out of the ways of being and doing that are rooted in lack and scarcity and fear. And then as we're doing that, and because this is a continual process of unraveling, as we're doing that, we move in service to others to support them do it in their own, in our own unique way, because we all do it differently. We all lead differently, we all show up differently, we've all got different expressions, and that's amazing. This is what this world needs. The people that are attracted to my frequency may not necessarily be attracted to your frequency, and the people that are attracted to your frequency may not necessarily be attracted to my frequency. But what's important is that we anchor ourselves deep within our knowing and our body, and raise our frequency, and expand on our courage and our bravery to start to use our voice in a way that benefits the whole. So this is what this is about, this sacred spiral. This is what I'm about within my work, within the wealth frequency shift, or whether you work with me one-on-one, in any capacity that you work with me, it really is all about coming home to self so we can create everything that we want. And ultimately, from that, it enables us to support other people create everything that they want. And then ultimately, it makes the world a better place, because when we're creating everything that we want, really at the root of it, we're coming back to safety, security, love, nourishment, acceptance, understanding, where of giving that to ourselves first, but then also receiving that from other people. And when we're doing that, then that's making the world a better place, because it just ripples, it ripples, it ripples, it ripples. So yeah, it's a sacred spiral. There's this tattoo that I got at the very start of my spiritual awakening journey in well, can you see it? Am I showing it properly? Yeah, you can see it. It was in Thailand, and it's called an unalome, and it's I think it's Buddhist. Um, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it is, because that's the main practice in Thailand. Anyway, it means, so you've got the spiral, yeah, you've got the spiral. It starts in the spiral, and then it goes up, and then it wiggles around, and then goes up straight. So the basic gist of the meaning of the tattoo is, on the path to enlightenment, we're spiraling around, but this spiral is heightening. So as we're going through seemingly the same lessons, we're moving at a higher perspective, so we can stop or move through it much quicker. And then we get around, and then there's still kind of some twists and turns before we get to enlightenment. And this certainly has been the process for my experience, in that when I've started to learn the lessons, because I came from very, I was depressed, I was anxious, everything outside of me was toxic, because it was mirroring the toxicity and the hatred that I had within myself, right? So through me learning these lessons and gaining this awareness and understanding, and noticing discordance and disharmony outside of me through the relationships and the experiences that I had, I started to take ownership and accountability, which is a huge part of our journey, especially in our spiritual awakening too. There's so many people that, especially in the New Age movement, that are like, oh yeah, spirituality, it's all ego bypassing. They're not actually looking in the mirror to take accountability and responsibility for the part that they've played or haven't played. And this is a huge, huge part of the spiritual awakening journey, because to become spiritually awake, in what aspect that is, whether whatever faith that you have and however you connect to it, the whole point is to come back to love. And if you can't take accountability and responsibility for the parts that you've played or haven't played in creating any kind of discordance, disharmony, and toxicity outside of you, then you're not truly coming back to love, because you're basically running away from that mirror, and you're not alchemizing to create a better experience without. Because once you create better within and in your way of being and your character, naturally that shifts outside of you, whether you set boundaries and distance yourself from people, or whether you just don't tolerate it anymore. And it's like, okay, well, if you want to be in my field, then lovingly there's a shift that gets to happen, right? So this spiral, we come to this realization, and depending on our own soul's growth and evolution and karma that we come to within this lifetime is dependent on where it starts. And there's no right or wrong, better or worse. It just is what is. We've all got our own shit. No one's life is easier than another's. We all face problems, we all face shit. And this is why it's really, really important for us to be kind to one another, and to seek to understand. Even if we wouldn't be that certain way, we get to seek to understand, oh, well, hurt people hurt people. Like, the reason people are hating on people that they don't know or trolling on people is because there's something going on within them that they feel the unconscious need to leak that outside of them. So when we come back to love in this sense, this is what allows for dialogue to open with certain people and situations. So the dark and the heavy and the negative energy can essentially be alchemized, neutralized, and turned into something positive if we're shifting our pain into power. Hello. I um I always fucking forget names. Excuse my French, but especially when I see different Instagram handles as well. It's like, why doesn't Instagram put the name there? So yeah, apologies. My brain is fried. I've been going through so much recently. But yeah, this is great. You would have loved this. There you go, Umzi. Ah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, brother. I hope you're well. But yeah, it's a process of continual unraveling and spiraling, and through this gained awareness, through spiraling upwards, and being able to look at our journey and our story from this heightened awareness, and through the knowing of ourselves and our journey. Hello, Adia. I hope you're well. Yeah, it's so good to see you. I'm sending you so much love. Um, then it allows us to move through the next iteration of initiations much easier, even though it can stretch us as well, because you think about the spiral, it starts quite small, and then our capacity is continuing to be stretched. And I've been saying this for years, that because I'm the type of person that I want it all. And I don't believe that we should sacrifice anything good for us to be able to have it all. It's simply a case of cleaning ourselves up to be able to become a match for it on the frequency level. So this is the journey that I've been on. And for years, especially since I've been really deep in the initiation, and bear in mind, I've been in Bali for 6 years. I haven't seen my family in 6 years. I had the masculine side of my family come to visit me a couple of years ago, which was really healing. But the rest of my family, I haven't seen. I haven't gone back to the UK. So that's come with a lot. That's come with a lot of stuff to deal with, right? And through these initiations, I don't know how I got there, but I've continually been initiated on this. Here we go. I remember how I got there. I remember. I came to this realization through these initiations. Essentially, I've been moving through the initiations, leading myself doing it, because I haven't had a resource to be able to get a coach to be able to coach me. People that were in my community and that I was working with in a business sense, they didn't have the capacity to be able to support me in the spiritual awakenings that I was going through. And I was just a hermit at home. until maybe 3 years into being in Bali. So bear in mind, I've been away from the UK for 6 years, haven't had family or anyone that's known me. And I came to the realization that if we want all of this, right, if we want it all, which I'm a woman that does, why not? We can have it all. If we want it all, we can have it all. So if we want this, then we must be able to hold this, because it's a whole spectrum, right? If we want this in the blitz of our highs and our light, then we must be able to hold all of the shit that comes with it, that we get to essentially witness, validate, and let go and release in this process of embodiment towards our highest. So that's essentially the process of the spiral, is being able to expand our capacity of holding the unwanted, lower vibrational emotions, as well as allowing for the wanted higher frequency emotions, and really feeling that in our body as well, because it's our body that's the transmitter. It's our body that is also the receiver as well. So if we're transmitting shit, yeah, we're used to the shit, so we're going to receive it. However, once we start to shift our frequency and consciously shift our being and way of feeling, yes, we're transmitting that, but for us to be able to receive what wants to come in through the transmission that we're giving off, we must learn how to receive as well. So there's a lot with nervous system capacity and building ourselves and our strength and anchoring into ourselves. And this is the spiral. This is the sacred spiral. And we get to be witnessed in this, in every iteration where it's safe and where we feel held and where we feel seen and when we feel heard and supported. And this is essentially the spaces that I curate. So in the future, the sacred spiral is not normally going to be on Instagram. I'm building this up. So this landed yesterday. I knew that it was either going to be very intimate or no one was going to show up. So I just organically flowed as to what felt good to come through me today. However, from next week, I'm praying that people will start to come and join this group interactive, and it won't be held on Instagram. It's going to be held in the Facebook group, which is on Zoom, which is here. So if you want to join and if you want to stay connected, then please come. It's a free call every week. So this is me being of service to you to support you on your journey. And yeah, the space is open, you're welcome, and I'm here for you. You're not alone. I know this is a very, very initiatory time for so many of us, and it's not nice feeling that you're alone. And I want to let you know that you're not alone. You have support. And if you feel called for my support and my guidance, then you know where I am. Okay, so I'm going to end the call. I hope you have a fantastic day. We've got Emily that's still on the call. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, my inbox is open if you desire to ask me any questions. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.